He waved the tickets in front of me as if they were his personal entitlement. "Perks of being the boss," he said with a grin. I returned a smile, the kind that conceals a brewing storm. "Enjoy the game," I told him. Little did he know, by Monday, he would be wishing he'd stayed home. I had joined Ridgeway Consulting 3 years ago, eager to prove myself. Back then, Mark Lawson wasn't just my boss. He was my mentor, or so I thought. He took me out for drinks, shared stories of building his career, and preached that loyalty mattered more than talent. I believed every word. I worked weekends, holidays, late into the night, until the janitor flicked off the lights as a warning. I became his go-to, the reliable one. When the Wilson project arrived, the one capable of doubling the company's quarterly revenue, he handed it to me. "Don't let me down, kid." I didn't. 6 months of missed birthdays, canceled dates, and endless black coffee later, I delivered perfection. The client was ecstatic and handed me 2 front-row Super Bowl tickets. 50-yard line. "This is for the person who made it happen," they said. Mark smiled when he heard about it. "That's impressive, really. But technically, the project falls under my division," he said, laughing as if it were a joke. "You should be grateful you have a job at all, right?" And just like that, he took them. That night, I couldn't sleep, not because of tickets, but because of what it revealed. He wasn't a mentor. He was a parasite. The next morning, I walked into his office, calm as stone. "Thanks for everything, Mark. I've learned a lot here," I said. He looked up, smirking. "You're not quitting, are you? You've got a bright future here." "Of course not," I lied. "Just enjoy the game." He chuckled. "I will." While he planned his weekend in Las Vegas, I was planning something else. You learn a lot working under someone like Mark. You notice where he hides his skeletons. Mark wasn't just arrogant. He was careless. He forwarded me internal reports, client statements, confidential emails, expecting me to clean up his messes. Over time, I built a quiet archive, one folder at a time. At first, it was just organization. Now it was my weapon. It began with a single email thread where Mark had altered invoice dates to inflate quarterly performance numbers. Then came travel reimbursements for trips that never happened. Then expense reports for client dinners I knew were actually with his mistress. I didn't confront him. I meticulously built my case. I created a report. Clean, factual, indisputable. Every claim backed with timestamps, signatures, and bank records. Even screenshots of late-night messages he thought were private. Then I waited. Sunday, he was on TV, beer in hand, front row at the Super Bowl, posting a selfie with a caption, "Hard work pays off." I almost laughed. That night, I sent a single email to HR, the CEO, and the legal department. Subject: concerning misuse of company funds, Mark Lawson. Attached, everything. Monday morning, I arrived early, coffee in hand. Even brought donuts, the good ones. Mark walked in glowing. "You wouldn't believe that game," he said, patting me on the shoulder. "Best weekend of my life." "I bet," I said. At 9:17 a.m., his phone buzzed. He frowned, glanced at the screen, and color drained from his face. He walked to his office, closed the door. Through the glass, I watched the CEO arrive, followed by 2 HR reps and a security guard. I didn't hear the words, but I saw the disbelief, the denial, the anger, then silence. By 10:04, he was gone, box in hand, eyes hollow. As he passed my desk, he tried to meet my gaze. I didn't look up. "Guess it was a hell of a game," I murmured. The company launched an internal audit. My report was just the tip of the iceberg. Years of small thefts and policy violations surfaced. He wasn't just fired. He was blacklisted. 2 weeks later, I was promoted, the same position he once said I wasn't ready for. The Wilson client called to congratulate me, almost sheepishly adding, "We have season tickets next year, they're yours." I smiled. "Thank you. I'll make sure to enjoy the game." People often ask if I regret it or feel guilty about how it ended. Guilt? No. You can't feel guilty about justice. Only satisfaction. Mark taught me a valuable lesson. Never show anger. Anger makes you predictable. Calm makes you dangerous. He thought he was untouchable because he signed my paycheck, because he could take what was mine and call it mentorship. But men like him forget, loyalty works both ways.